Good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Royce Ogireki, aka Posh Farms. How are you doing this morning? I want to quickly talk about the concept of ashery. Ashing. We can see here we have ashlings in this bowl. If you look closely, you can see them moving. I've broken them into bowls. Ordinarily, what we have here is 50 grams. That's what I asked here, 50 grams of eggs. And 50 grams, we give you 1 gram is 4 kg, 50 grams should give you about 200 kg of maggots. But based on our weather or whatever, we usually hit 2 point something or 3 kg, which means from this bowl, I'm supposed to get 150 kg of maggots. Although I've removed some, you have some in these bowls and in some other bowls. I visited a farm that somebody set up in Ekpe. I had to correct some things there, and I discovered where they were missing is the concept of this bowl. What you feed, when you feed, how you feed. Very, very important in maggot farming. Like I've mixed my feed and I want to feed my maggots. Now, if I leave my 50 grams in this bowl, I'm supposed to feed them here just for 3 days or 4 days. These ones, I just fed them for the first day. As in what I used to wash, I've not given them food because I want all of them to grow evenly. Now, if I leave them, imagine you are leaving 150 kg in this bowl. Is not possible. The highest this bowl can take is 10 kg. Although I'm not growing them in this bowl, I'm moving them to the ponds. But yeah, you also have to break them because overpopulation will affect their growth. So what I do is I divide my 50 grams. From here, I divide it into about 5 bowls. So we have 10 grams in each bowl and I feed them just for 2 days or 3 days. Then I move them. But how do you feed and when do you feed? Let's talk about how to feed. Very, very important. Now, if I come and I spray my feed all over, because it is wet, I'll discover that my maggots will start crawling out of this bowl. They start coming out. So what I do is I put my food in the middle. Like this. You put your feed in the middle like this. So all the maggots end up coming here to eat. They are going to eat from here. You understand? So by the time this feed spreads and get to the side, it's already dry, so they don't have to crawl out. Now, if you come to this bowl in another 3 days, I'm going to feed them today, this afternoon. I'm going to feed them. Today is 11th May. I'll be 10th May. I think it's 11th May. I'm going to feed them today, this afternoon, in the evening, tomorrow morning. By the time you come here next tomorrow, you will not believe what you will see. From these tiny things you are seeing, I'm going to show you an example. Now, in 3 days, this is what you will have. You can see the difference. That's how fast that they grow. That's how fast they grow. In 3 days, this is what you have. So from there, you can now move to your pond and begin to feed them with whatever substrate you are going to pick to feed them. There are various kind of substrate to feed them. So by the time they spend 3 days here, you move them to the pond, they spend another 4 days or 3 days, they are good to go for harvest. So if you are feeding like smaller fishes, you can use that size that I showed you. This size. You can use this size if you are feeding smaller fishes. But if you are feeding bigger fishes, then you have to feed this like for another 3 days and they'll grow. So within a week from when you hatch, not when you harvest, please. Because when you harvest, it's going to take like 3 days. Within a week from when you hatch your maggots, from this level to harvest level for big fish, you are good to go. That's how fast the maggots grow. So I said, this is how you feed. When you feed, I usually feed, I look at my bowl. By the time they have eaten this, it's going to turn brownish. Like this. Sorry for that. By the time they eat this fine color brown you see here, it's going to turn to this dark brown. And by the time it gets to this dark brown, you know that there's no food left. That is when I feed. So what I feed, that is a big question. Depends on what you want to achieve. That is when you know what you feed. Well, in our class, we'll be discussing that more, because just saying what I feed, how to feed, as in how I ferment it, how I prepare it and feed it, those things are very important. You understand? So I'll see you in the class.